Hey there, this is Malorian, and we are going to be trying out a scenario from the newest No Quarter called Showdown. It's supposed to be like that 10th anniversary type of like big scenario between the first main four factions. We are going to be doing with different factions, but whatever, it's going to be fun. But hey, let's get to the armies. This first one here is going to be Skarre running a Seether. There's going to be the Max Banes with UA, Max Bane Knights. He's also going to be running Tartarus. He has the Mechanothralls. He has a Necrotech, and then the Scrap Thralls. So lots and lots of dudes. The other one here, this is the Pink Signar you guys have probably seen a lot of, and he's going to be running eCaine, who is running a Ironclad. There's also the Min Boomhowlers, the Ogren Bokur, there is Reinhold, there is the Squire, Strangeways, Black 13th, and then there's also Gun Mages with UA, who is running the Hunter and Epic Iris. Finally, this is me. I just finished painting up Maelok, and I got another posse. So we're running Maelok with a Bull Snapper and Bone Swarm. I have the Feral Geist and the Witch Doctor, two Max Posses, a Max Bogtrogs, and a Min Bogtrogs. This is actually a Tier 2. Over here, there's actually another Gator player, so might get some alliances going. And he has Barnabus with two Wrestlers, two Max Posse, a Totem Hunter, and also a Croak Hunter. Otherwise, board looks like this. So the way it works is that you have a 10 by 10 foot zone in the center. The fourth player's second turn is when you start scoring, and it's going to be 1 for controlling, 2 for dominating, first one of 5 for the win. So really looking at this, like I said, I was trying to push an alliance with the other Gator player. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think it'll be at least for a while. So we're going to move up. I'm hopefully going to go and swamp the Signar as best I can. Cricks will be an issue, but between eCaine going gun happy on them and fighting with the Gators, I really think the Cricks will be then chewed down. So at that point, it's just really probably at that point, you know, all of the Signar stuff wiped out, and then a little bit of a Gator fight in the middle. So we'll have to kind of see what happens there, but yeah, should be kind of crazy. Only thing is we're going with 35 points, and your little bubble here is only 10 inches from the corner, so a little bit hard to get in there. I don't really know if this is supposed to be played with a smaller level, but yeah, I think 35 might be a little bit too big if you're going infantry heavy. All right, so the Crix player decided to go first, and at this point, he's really just rushing up. You know, that's kind of going to be how it is going to be this first turn. Barnabus, kind of the same thing. He has Iron Flesh up onto the Green Gators. On my part, I'm going to be having the Death Pact onto the Painted Gators. The ones that are just pink are going to be having the Zombify on them. And then for the Signar, he's going to be having the heightened reflexes on the Boomhowler, so they can't actually be knocked down. He has the True Sight up onto eCaine, so he can just be shooting up all those stealth guys. The Totem Hunter actually has a prey target onto Epic Iris there. He has kind of like a personal vendetta. But yeah, that's pretty much it there. On to turn 2, Crix at this point being a little bit, I mean, he could be rushing up more, but he really just throws a couple of people either way. He could have actually tied up Epic Iris, but I think he didn't quite put it in range, but that's it. The Gatormen, pretty much same thing, being very careful. They killed one of the exploding dudes on the right, but that's really it. And that's the thing you get with these 4-player games, where nobody really wants to commit to the center, because even though it's important for a scenario, you don't want to be the guy that everybody else teams up on. So for my part, I can't let a Signar get a free point, so the right Gator is just going to have one guy in the zone. I go over and I say basically to the Barnabus player, all right, let's see if this deal is going to work, because either you kind of turn the tides and I'll fight back, or you go after the Crix and we'll go from there. So we'll see what he decides to do. But otherwise, on the left, yeah, pretty much just kind of got a few charges off on some Boom Howlers. Only was able to kill one, but definitely have a lot of models over there, so should be able to press the issue, especially with Caine being a little bit farther away and me being pretty sure he's going to go after those Crix. So on the Signar turn, this is where things are going to start getting a little bit bloody. Yeah, so eCaine goes over. He starts shooting some guys. So he's lost pretty much everything that's on the left side there. He shoots with the hunter and kills my one gator that was in the zone. Otherwise, the boom howlers try and fight me, and they don't really do anything too bad. But after that, the ogre and Bokur goes into the zone. So Signar pulls an early lead here with 1 point, and this is actually a big deal because last time we did a game like this, basically it went to time, and then the person who happened to be me, which was the first brave person to go in and get the first point, won because he got called, and they won 1-0, nothing, nothing. All right, so we're on to turn 3. Crix is now moving up, but they didn't really have that much to kill. They were able to kill the Ogre and Bokur, so I was kind of happy with that. But otherwise, yeah, he was able to kill a couple of the Iron Flesh Gators on the right side, failed to do anything to the Wrestler, and that's really it. I mean, Iron Flesh is a hell of a good spell, but when you have Dark Guidance, that kind of just gets right past it. All right, so then on the Barnabus side, he decides to really just try and cut into the Crix. But the problem is that he had popped his feet, talking about Skarre here. So these guys are crazy high armor. So he only is able to kill a few guys. I really thought it'd be a lot more, but he just could not roll the 8s he needed to kill the guys, I believe it was. So other than that, he actually made a pool for me to go in, which is pretty nice. But the way he set it up, I could actually charge a few guys into his Barnabus there. So we'll see. I have to see how things go around the way. But actually, no, I got to decide right now. So basically what I'm looking at this, just to kind of explain my actions, is that I figure by the time it gets to Crix again, the Crix are going to decimate the Gators there. Basically, that whole front line of like, oh, I don't know, 6 Gatormen are all going to die. So my ally won't be that good of an ally anymore. So my thought is to try and see if I can really put him on the back foot, eliminate him so that he can't throw something to go and try and hurt me, and then otherwise just kind of go and try and clean up some Signar. So this is going to be my feet turn. So pretty much Barnabus just moves up, pops his feet, raise up that gator that died. On the right side, I was able to then, of course, charge through, and I was able to kill his Croak Hunter, able to kill the Totem Hunter, but man, he had actually dropped Iron Flesh and put it onto Barnabus, and that meant I needed 9s to hit. So even going with Cold-Blooded for the reroll, I only got 1 through and did like 4 damage, so that didn't go really well. I mean, I killed a couple of solos, but that's it. But still, I'm kind of hoping that Crix will decimate the front lines, and he won't be able to dedicate to me too much. On the left side, I did a lot better. Killed a lot of the Boom Howlers. Was not able to kill a Boom Howler himself. Did some really good damage to the Ironclad. And otherwise, yeah, just having all those Bogtrogs being up there in a spot where they're going to be able to do a lot of damage next turn. All right, so back to Signar here, and he has some pretty bad rolls. Pretty much, he comes over and he wants to start shooting off all my Gators, but he's having a hard time getting through my armor because, I have the extra armor there right now with the feet. And then when he does, I'm making my Toughs. His Ironclad tries to kill some of my guys, and I make my Tough, and the other attack can't get past the damage. And then he tries shooting into the Banes. Doesn't do a lot of damage there, so really had a pretty bad turn. I believe he shot and he disrupted the Seether, so that's kind of nice. But then Boom Howler yells, and I actually fail my test with my Bogtrogs. So that really hurts, because I was going to be able to do a lot of damage next turn with that big unit. But unfortunately, yeah, they're a bunch of scaredy cats. Back to Crix, and this really threw me for a loop, because he killed one of the Bane Knights, so I thought with Vengeance he'd kill a bunch of Gators, then he'd be able to kill a bunch more. Like I said, I thought Gatormen were going to be destroyed, but no. Otherwise, he really has the Bane Thralls really going after the Signar, killing a few guys there. All the Bane Knights, I mean, a few of them went against the Gators, did some damage, but other ones went against me and were able to kill one of my Gators there. So really not the devastating blow to the Barnabus player that I thought. Even when he charged in with the Tartarus, I mean, he did some damage there, removed a couple of guys, or one guy actually. The 2 would have been his other Bane he killed. But yeah, not doing as much damage there as I thought. So all of a sudden, I'm wondering if screwing over my ally here was a really bad idea. So then going over to the Gator side, first of all, Barnabus goes and kind of kills everyone around him. He starts chewing into the guys in front. He is able to kill Tartarus with the one Wrestler. He is able to basically charge up and destroy the screen in front of Skarre. So Skarre really has to be pretty careful now. Both the Wrestlers are just facing the opposite way just to make it easier for them. But hey, I mean, at least he only killed on my stuff what he had to. I was worried that he'd really kind of bring the Wrestlers against me, but luckily the Cricks were a big enough threat that he did not. So back to my turn. I go over with Barnabus. I'm going to let Death Pact now drops because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing double revives all the time. And so I revive 2 from the right side. They all charge into Barnabus. And this time I do fairly well. I do some pretty good damage. He's down to about 5 boxes now. He had to do a transfer and stuff. But yeah, I actually started hitting those 9s. Otherwise, I'm just trying to kill all the Cricks that are around my area. So the other Bog Trogs rally, the pink ones come in, they kill all that they can and kind of clear things out. On the left side, the Gatormen, they are able to kill Strangeway so they can stop fixing that Ironclad. And otherwise, it's trying to be a real pain and killing off, first of all, the Cricks around me so that they wouldn't do too much, and then just trying to kill some of the support he has back here. So over here, Signar turn, and this is going to be our first caster kill. eCaine comes around the side, and at first, it didn't look very promising because he was not rolling very well, but his last 3 shots got it through, and Skarre is dead. Otherwise, it looks like this. So he was able to kill the pocket of Banes that are over there with him. So really, the Cricks player is almost down to nothing at this point. But yeah, he really didn't do too much to me. He was able to kill one of my posse over there, I believe. And other than that, yeah, not too much whatsoever. So good to see the Cricks going down and that my guys are still all alive. So Crick's turn, he doesn't have too much he can do, but he actually goes against me. So 2 of his guys charge the Bull Snapper. Luckily, the first one misses, so I am able to survive. The other one there, the last Bane champion, goes after Epic Iris and misses both attacks, but that's really all he has. But the nice thing I'm starting to see looking at this is that there's not very much stuff in the zone. You know, Signar's being pushed away, Cricks has almost nothing that I can kill, and Barnabus, you know, unless he really goes after something else, I mean, he's got to deal with the Seether this turn. He's talking about charging over, maybe at eCaine or something. So I could start getting some points here. So what he ends up doing is killing again my Gators that are around him. I'm left with just 1 Gator in the unit. I was worried a Wrestler might come after me, but the Wrestler instead went after the Seether, because I forgot to mention that the Seether came over and killed one of the Wrestlers. So then his Wrestler kills the Seether. So now the Cricks are really down to almost nothing. The 3 Posse, you know, he probably could have got 2 charges onto eCaine, it looked like, but he decided to go against Epic Iris just because he hates it. Failed all of his attacks, but otherwise now I'm definitely looking at getting some points. So on my turn, I move over here and with Maelok, and I raise up 2 more Gators. They charge into Barnabus, and so I'm really just getting the 4 attacks here because 2 of them will just have their reach attack. Needing the 9s, he transfers over 1, and then the rest just cannot connect. He's down to 4 now because he had to cut himself. So if I could just land 1 more, that was probably it. But no, was not possible. Otherwise, kill the Necrotectos in the zone. I have the Feral guys come over to score me a point to tie it up, so that's pretty nice. Otherwise, the Bog Trogs who had rallied last time all charge into the Ironclad, do 1 big massive strike, and I kind of fail the attack and don't do too much, but hey, it's something. And otherwise, the Gators at the top just keep on trying to kill off his support staff so that he really won't be a worry. Killed a few guys there, mainly just like the gun mages and all that stuff, tying things up. So looking pretty good here. So on the Signar turn, this is where we realize that there's only 7 minutes till the store closes. So really to finish the round, this will be the last turn. And the way it is that he has no good way to get into the zone. With Caine, he was wondering if he could move up and shoot the Feral guys, but it was going to be too far out. He only had 1 model that could probably run into contest, and then from free strikes, it just would have died. So really, nothing was going to really happen here anyway. And so, I mean, if you kind of say if it wouldn't have been called on time, I would have scored on his turn, scored on the Crick's turn. Depending on what the Gators do, they can gum it up so I don't score there. But then if I can just kill off whatever he puts in, which could be pretty hard with what I have left here, then I could always move in to dominate. But either way, I score another point on his turn, and I win this 2-1 to 0-0. So really was a fun game. Maybe not so much for the Crick's player because he got a little bit killed off and bad stuff happened to him. But either way, always fun to do these 4-player missions. This game here took, what would have been probably 2.5 hours, I believe. Maybe just 2 hours if you don't count the setup and stuff. So it wasn't really too bad. And hey, it's just fun to do the stuff that's different and new. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later. Bye.